Okay, welcome back to our web training for Google Calendar with IFAS Communications. We're now going to go over using Google Calendar for your own website and office organization. When you log into Google Calendar, you should already have your accounts calendar and the shared IFAS calendar for your county. For anyone who doesn't remember how to log in, you need to go to google.com/calendar and enter in the account information for the calendar you already created from our previous video. Right now I'm currently logged in, so that's why it automatically went to it. Google Calendar lets you filter events by creating multiple calendars. For the IFAS website, this is how we filter events by county. Each county has a separate calendar. When you are using Google Calendar for your office, you can create a new calendar for each program area. This is the way you would filter events by program area. And those calendars show up under my calendars. So right now we already have 2 events that would fall under my main account calendar and events that go under the shared IFAS calendar. To create a new calendar, go to the drop-down arrow next to My Calendars and choose Create New Calendar. Create a name for your calendar. We're going to call this one Agriculture. And the calendar name would ideally be the program area that you're creating the calendar for. And enter in a short description. Add a location. I would enter your county. The time zone should already be appropriate. And you want to make this calendar public, so check that box. Under Share with Specific People, enter in the email addresses for anyone else who may need access to this calendar. They will also need a Google account, so you may want to refer them to our first video on how to sign up as a Google Calendar user. And then we're going to click Create Calendar. Yes, you do want to make your calendar public. That way your clients and website users can see it. Now you're back on the main Google Calendar page and your calendar will be on the left. Now, when you add events, if you're going to add agriculture events, make sure they're on the agriculture calendar. To keep your office calendar synced with the shared IFAS calendar that shows up on the IFAS website, once you've added an event to the calendar, you'll need to copy it to the IFAS calendar. So once again, we're going to mimic creating an event. We'll call this a forage field day. It's going to be all day today. And again, this is an agriculture event. We want it on the agriculture calendar. And I'm skipping over some event adding steps just for quickness here. Ideally, you would add a full description. So you can see here, it's marked purple, the same color as the agriculture calendar. That tells you that it's on my agriculture calendar. But I also want this event on the shared IFAS calendar so that it updates on the IFAS website. I'll click on the event again, edit event. Then at the top of the page, under the More Actions drop-down, choose Copy this event, and then you want to copy it to your shared IFAS calendar. Right now, ours says sfyl@ifas.ufl.edu. However, in your case, it should say your county name, and that's going to be the shared calendar. So this is the same event. It's now copied over. I'm going to make sure that everything is as it should be, that the event is public, that others cannot see the guest list, and that everything that needs to be in there is added in there, and I'm going to save. So now you see this event is on our agriculture program area calendar and on our shared IFAS calendar that links the event and displays it on the IFAS website. Now we're going to show you how to share your office calendars on your own website. Under My Calendars, pick the drop-down next to one of the calendars listed there. It doesn't really matter which one. You're going to choose Calendar Settings. Keep in mind that this is also what you'd choose to edit calendar information such as the name or the description. This is also where you find the XML, iCal, and HTML addresses for adding the calendar to RSS feeds, iDevices, Outlook, and the like. But what we're interested in is embed this calendar, specifically the Customize options. On this page, embed options are on the left and the preview is on the right. Check or uncheck the display options as needed. As you can see as I'm clicking through these, they are removing things from the top of the calendar. What you do want to leave, though, is the calendar list. This is how users will be able to filter events by the program area. Enter a title if you are choosing to display a title. We're using Alachua County purely for example. And as you can see, because I entered the title, it shows up there. We are going to give folks a date, and we'll give them some calendar tabs so they can filter through whichever view they may want. Choose the default view you would like, how it will display originally. We're going to choose month. Set any height and width limits you may need, and any other options. The important part is to be sure to mark the office calendar under Calendars to Display. So we're not going to include the personal account calendar. We are going to include our shared IFAS calendar, or not, depending on how you use it. And this is where those calendar choices come up. So, if I had another calendar, I'm going to close out of this and go back to My Calendars. We'll refresh this page. Let's go ahead and add in a horticulture calendar. Again, I'm skipping over some steps that I showed you originally, but you'd want to include a description and your county location and add any other users that need calendar access. Yes, we do want to make it public. And we're also going to add a natural resources. Calendar. And again, that step is next to any one of these calendars. Click on Calendar Settings. Embed this calendar. We want the Customize option. We can do our calendar title if we want. You can choose what folks have to display. And then here, I want the agriculture calendar and the horticulture and the natural resources calendar. So in this preview, this gives you an idea of what folks will see. And say they only wanted to see agriculture events, they would uncheck horticulture and uncheck natural resources. So by checking or unchecking the calendars, the user controls what kind of events they are seeing. Once you're done and you're satisfied with the preview, copy the code from the box. Be sure you do get all of it. And you want to paste it in the main content area of your web page HTML code. Once you've done that and saved your web page, you should now have a Google Calendar embedded on your web page, and it's sortable by program area. This is the main IFAS calendar, and it operates just the same as yours would, but where we have the different event program areas, that's where your content program areas would be based on the calendars you created. As always, if you need more details or help, visit Google's Help section under Settings, Help, or email webteam@ifas.ufl.edu.